Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. There is this big football NFL story in the media for today, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. It is the early retirement of a professional football player in the National Football League. He is retiring after his rookie season, which was a very successful season. He recorded a record for the season last year. He had the most tackles by any player in the NFL in a single game with 18 tackles, which is a heck of a lot of tackles for a game. So he was a young star player and he retired. And for San Francisco 49er fans, this is extra heartbreaking because their team's best player for the last decade, Patrick Willis, retired. Arguably their best offensive player in that same period of time, Frank Gore, went to the Indianapolis Colts. Their star offensive guard, Mike Upati, left the team. Their star cornerback, Chris Culliver, left. Michael Crabtree, their receiver, said he's not returning. And they have some other people who they're waiting to see what's going to happen. So for their team, it's a historically bad free agency offseason. Probably the team's worst in their history, which began in the year 1949. The 49ers joined the NFL in 49. But anyway, this upcoming season will be the 50th Super Bowl in San Francisco. The team is hosting. There's quite a few curious things. But before we get into this Chris Borland retirement and the numerology and gematria breakdown, what I want to show you is Jim Harbaugh, their coach who left for Michigan this offseason. He finished with a career record of 49 wins, 22 losses, 1 tie for the 49ers. And what am I saying? I'm saying these sports are scripted by numerology. In the case of the Seahawks, Jim Mora Jr. left his time as head coach with the Seahawks with a career record of 31 wins, 33 losses, and Pete Carroll took over with 33 wins and 31 losses, which he accumulated with the New England Patriots and New York Jets. So anyway, when Harbaugh left, there was the question, what's going to happen with the 49ers team now that he's gone? And what we found is a total fallout. Essentially, their linebacking core, which was the best in the entire NFL, all left the team, which is a major loss. That's the heart of the defense, the linebacking core. And so many great linebackers wear the number 52. Why? I think it's because Hart has a gematria of 52. Patrick Willis, who just retired unexpectedly, wore the number 52, like so many other great linebackers in the history of the sport. And I think that's the secret behind so many players wearing 52. Patrick, this is also St. Patrick's Day. Patrick is a 33 name, with the K exception, 42. So, let's move along. The new coach is Jim Tomsula, the former defensive coordinator of one of the best defenses in the league in the time he's been coaching. What I want to look at is his date of birth. This is a date with 33 numerology and 86 numerology. We saw that number play big. Deflate gate equaled 86. It was 86 who mishandled the onside kick, helping the Seahawks win. He was also born in the reflection of that year, 68. And look, he's about to turn 47 years old this April, meaning he'll be 47 years old for his first year as head coach. It was the 47th season that was the first Super Bowl. Number of much importance. The name Jim, the name he goes by, has that gematria of 32, just like NFL. Tomsula's 101, like a textbook. Put it together, it's 133, a number we see often. If we write out football in Pythagorean gematria, here I'll do it real quick. F becomes 6. O is 15, 1 plus 5 becomes 6. T is 20, 2 plus 0 becomes 2, B is 2, A is 1, L is 12, 1 plus 2 becomes 3. Again, 3. Football sums to 29, which has a numerology of 2 plus 9 equals 11. Football is a game of 11 on 11, meaning 22 men on the field. So look at what we have. We have 666, 22, 133. I point out this 133 because of Jim Tomsula's name. And right now he's going to be looking like a coach up against all odds. But it should be noted that as many players as the 49ers have lost, they've made some big signings. Torrey Smith, Reggie Bush, Darnell Dockett, and more. If Navarro Bowman comes back and is healthy, they'll be in good shape probably. But moving on. Oh, I just wanted to point out on that last thing, it had another list of coaches down there. Jack Del Rio will be coaching this year in Oakland across the bay from San Francisco. Notice he was born April 4th, and his life number is 27. He has been a notorious loser in the NFL. So, sorry, Raider fans, not looking good. But what I want to get to is this story of Chris Borland, since it's so big in our media and how it fits into this overall thing that's going on right now. This crazy offseason for the 49ers. Also notice that Vegas odds, the 49ers odds went to 33-1 after the announcement of his retiring. Curious, 33-1. And also, I just want to point out one thing about Frank Gore leaving. Last year I predicted the Colts would go to the Super Bowl and win. Perhaps what I read into was a year off yet, because I noticed how the word Colts equaled 15. This will be the 15-16 season. Perhaps everything I was reading was a foreshadowing of this year. I also predicted last year that Frank Gore would play on the Super Bowl 50 winning team. Why? Because Frank Gore has a name gematria of 50. This next Super Bowl will be Super Bowl 50. It's going to be in San Francisco, who he played with for his whole career. San Francisco equals 50. And imagine that, a Colts Super Bowl in San Francisco with Frank Gore on the field. Can you see the tribute? I sure can. It should be noted that Frank Gore and Andre Johnson played together at University of Miami. They both were signed by the Colts. Andre Johnson's currently 33 years old. So Frank Gore's 31, Andre Johnson's 33, like the ranging degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. It will be Gore's 12th season, and we know how 12 lines up for Super Bowls as of late. Just more emphasis on that 33-1 odds. So let's look at Chris Borland here. Chris Borland. His curiosities start in college, but we'll just go through this by the numbers. His initials are CB, which become 3-2, just like the initials LB. Remember, L is 12, 1 plus 2 becomes 3, so LB is also another way of 32. He's a linebacker. The name Chris has a simple English gematria of 57, Borland 66, a number very important to the NFL. In Jewish gematria, NFL sums to 66. In simple English, it sums to 32. Also recall that the first Super Bowl was in the year 66, the 47th season of the NFL. The name Chris Borland, simple English gematria, sums to 123, 66 plus 57, just like the word conspiracy. And his retirement seems very suspicious. He wore the number 50 for the 49ers. This is, again, going to be the year of the 50th Super Bowl. San Francisco and Pythagorean gematria sums to 50. They're hosting Super Bowl 50. San Francisco as a team was once 5-0 in Super Bowls before losing to the Baltimore Ravens in Ray Lewis's final season. Ray Lewis is a linebacker who wore the number 52 as well, like we were talking about. Chris Borland, number 50, retires out of nowhere in a very curious year. Now, notice in college, he wore the number 44. Wisconsin is one of only 2 states with the gematria of 44. The other is Georgia, the 4th state. For the 49ers, he was the 77th pick. What do we know about this number, Truth Seeker? Very important number to the Freemasons. Also, 7 times 7 equals 49, like the team he was drafted by. So what I see here is a very special player. And True Seeker, recall that I live up in Seattle, so I see a lot of the Seahawks. Russell Wilson also went to Wisconsin. And I'm telling you, this guy seems like the biggest sports Psy-Op there ever was. He is a Manchurian athlete, I am sure of it. There's no doubt in my mind he knew to throw that last pass as an interception. You have to think about that type of person. That type of person is somewhat sociopathic, willing to do this kind of stuff. You know? It shows that these people are willing to take orders. Perhaps Chris Borland is okay with playing one great season of football and retiring on top because perhaps he's going to be rewarded, paid well, with a future in front of him, you know? We don't all know what goes on behind the scenes, but it's very obvious that something is up in professional sports. Remember Michael Sam, the first gay player who wore a pink shirt and kissed his boyfriend on TV after the NFL drafted him? Truth Seeker. The word gay has a simple English gematria of 33. The word homosexual has a simple English gematria of 133. Sam also has a simple English gematria of 33, as does the name Michael with Pythagorean gematria. Do you see what's going on, Truth Seeker? They're hoaxing people on so many levels, it's unbelievable. They're having fake athletes, agent athletes, go before us to perform things that essentially work out to be Psy-Ops, psychological operations. This fed into all sorts of stereotypes in our society, this incident. You know? That's what they're fueling. More division. Here, just from today, here's another little 33 spectacle in our media. Edward Joyner Jr., coach of Hampton, their basketball team won, so they're going to be in March Madness. He mock called Jesus. You can look this up on YouTube, watch what he does. He does pretends like he's talking to Jesus on the phone. Look at this. Hampton, the school, sums to 33. Joyner, the name, sums to 33. Think of the athletes with the name Joyner. The word junior sums to 33. And when we think of Jesus, of course, we think about 33. Crucified on the cross at 33. Jesus and cross sums to 74. Only the 33rd state of all 50 states has a gematria of 74. Oregon. Only Oregon. The English translation of Jesus also sums to 74. That is Joshua. So, this is it, Truth Seeker. One hoax after another. Even ripping at the hearts of sports fans. So 49er fans, if you're watching this and doubting, doubt all you want. I'd say watch a few more of my videos and then get back to me. Lots of important information I put out, from the death of Vince Lombardi to Reggie White, Junior Seau, whole bunch of other athletes. Here's another NFL college Psy-Op that's been going off. Winston, 33 name, main character in 1984, a book that begins on April 4th. He's a former Heisman winner. Heisman's another 33 word. This year, the Heisman winner was from the 33rd state, Oregon. Wore the number 44 a lot, just before losing to Ohio State. Follow this number, Truth Seeker, and you'll find a lot of truth. All right. Until next time.